Despite multiple massive theaters of operation, the War on Terror is one of the most granular conflicts in human history, with battles occurring more often house to house than across sweeping plains, pitching armored columns against one another. So while JDAMs, Patriot missiles, and other heavy ordnance are unparalleled in their efficacy against traditional military targets, the ever-changing nature of the asymmetrical counterinsurgency warfare means friendlies and hostiles are often intermingled. With adversaries in such close proximity to civilians, the use of such weapons simply poses too great of a risk to the local populace. So when ground-level precision and operational effectiveness are paramount, only highly skilled infantrymen can effectively rout entrenched insurgents from civilian-occupied regions. In these delicate instances, the American soldier's most vital tool is his rifle. And while effective, sometimes a squad needs extra firepower. And in that case, they need a squad automatic weapon, or SAW. Essentially, a SAW is an automatic rifle designed to be carried and utilized by a single soldier. It provides a greater volume of fire than traditional magazine-fed, shoulder-fired rifles. SAWs normally utilize a bipod and quick-change barrels, and can be either magazine or belt-fed, with the latter being most prevalent in modern militaries. The squad automatic weapon currently in use by America's armed forces is the M249 SAW. The M249 is an open-bolt, long-stroke, gas piston-driven selective fire rifle chambered in .556. While all branches of the military issue SAWs with belts of ammunition, the M249 can also feed from STANAG or standard M16 magazines in an emergency. With a cyclic rate of 800 rounds per minute, the M249 SAW is capable of producing incredible amounts of firepower. So when FN America recently announced production of the civilian-legal semi-automatic M249S rifles, I decided to take a short trip to see FN's plant located in sunny Columbia, South Carolina, to see how the hefty LMG goes from billet to bullet. Now the M249 SAW begins life as a billet of raw steel. It's loaded into a CNC mill that shaves away excess material, forming the basic shape of the gun's receiver. Areas too fine or too precise to be milled from the billet are machine welded onto the receiver itself. While this is occurring, enormous bins of barrel blanks are loaded into a lathe which shapes their outer dimensions so they can be fitted to a firearm. Once the outside of the blank is partially shaped, it's fed into a powerful machine that drills a perfectly concentric hole slightly larger than the desired caliber. Once the hole is made, the smoothbore barrel is fed into the hammer forge. Before loading into the hammer forge, a super hardened carbide mandrel with an invert image of the desired rifling is inserted into the barrel. As the three hammers of the forge pound the barrel equally on three sides, the barrel is pressed around the mandrel, forming the rifling inside. As a result, the barrel blank actually stretches as it is pounded around the mandrel and stretches out, much like rolled dough. During this process, the metal becomes ultra dense from the hammering and ultra rigid, ideal for precise rifling. The extra barrel length produced from the hammering process is then trimmed off. The newly completed barrel is then sent off to a furnace where it is superheated to provide additional rigidity. And then the same thing is done to the receiver for the same benefits. Once heat treated, all the components are then sent to an electrochemical bath that provides nitrating for additional outer strength and corrosion resistance. Once completed, the entire weapon is assembled, then dipped in a preservative oil before being packed away, ready to ship off to American forces across the globe. Shooters looking to buy one for themselves will either have to shell out six figures to purchase a transferable fully automatic version, or opt for the easier, more affordable route of buying the new M249S available now from FN America. The biggest differences between the M249S and the M249 SAW is that the S fires from a closed bolt as opposed to an open one and isn't readily convertible to fully automatic. After visiting FN's plant in Columbia, South Carolina, I got a much better idea of what goes into making not only the M249 SAW, but the 240 Bravo, even the Mark 19 grenade launcher. One thing that's absolutely undeniable about all of these weapons is that FN does a hell of a job creating them. Also, special thanks to everyone from Big 3 and Big 3 Media for making this entire event possible, and to Alex Bosco from SB Tactical for lending me his Select Fire M249 SAW, as well as the folks at ZQI Ammunition for providing copious amounts of 5.56 ammo to feed the beast. And lastly, but certainly not least, to FN America for allowing me to tour their facility and get some hands-on time with their semi-automatic M249S.